What I want to talk about now is the project management side of creating a website. And that tends to be the side that a lot of people don't think about, don't pre-plan. And I also think if you're not familiar with working with projects, it's a difficult process to understand, know how to document, etc. So what we're going to do is take a look at the project overview and specifically for websites. So this is the project management side of a website. And you must plan out your web design projects. It's very important now with how large websites are, how many different technologies are brought into a website. Also, it's such a huge part of the marketing area for a company. It's become a lot more important to make sure you get it right. They also cost a lot more money than they used to create, so it's something that a business really must pay attention to up front. And I've heard it mentioned that 85% of a web project is planning. And that's a huge piece that if you don't plan for, you can really run into some problems. So how do we go about setting that up? Well, I have some things on my site to assist you with that. And the first piece we're going to look at, I am on cmarscreate.com in the resources area. So if you go to cmarscreate.com, click on the yellow bubbles for resources and go down to design. So this is in the design phase of a site, which is why it's under design. And you can see I have a few documents here to assist you. So we're going to take a look at a few of these in detail. The first one is an overall overview of the development process itself, and that's what I want to show you now. And here is some documentation on the website design development process. I've had to teach a lot of classes about web design over the years, and I've put together this documentation to kind of explain the process. It is a multi-stage process. So the first piece is initiating the project. In other words, you figured out a website or a redesign is needed. Then it's a matter of gathering players together to create a development team, set up your goals for the site, set up the budget, project manager, and then we get into kind of the nitty-gritty with the design document questionnaire. And I have another movie about the design document questionnaire. It's kind of one of my major starting points when I'm working with a new client. Stage 2 is actually creating the design for the website. So that's where you're defining what you need, building design documents, and that's a separate document that's created based on the questionnaire that was filled out. And there's all kinds of information that goes into this design document. I kind of created a bullet for each piece of this. And there's an interesting piece that some people tend to forget because it's not quite as obvious, and that is this one, risk management. You always want to think about, okay, if this website project has an issue, what's the worst thing that can happen? And make sure you plan for that. So identify and assess risks. And I think this is something a lot of people don't think about, but it is an important piece. The other piece right below that, I tend to find that clients I work with don't think about this piece either. The maintenance team. One of my questions is who's going to maintain this website? And it's something you should determine up front because sometimes the people who are going to maintain it are non-technical people. And if that's the case, you have to plan for a way for them to be able to edit content without being a web developer themselves. Then we move into the actual project plan piece. And these are different pieces that I do have movies on as well. So we'll be taking a look at examples of these various pieces. So you can see there's quite a bit to this, and it is a full-fledged project in terms of looking at it from a project management standpoint. You want to set up your timelines, costs, deliverables, resources. Where is the information coming from that you're going to use within the website? So you can see there's a lot of different things to think about. Another piece is communications. And we'll take a look at the communications side of things when we are looking at project communications specifically in another movie. Then we get into the information architecture. How do you set up an example of the site and navigation layout? And we'll look at those as well. So This is up on my website so that you can look at it as you need and have access to it. We move into site design, site construction, marketing, tracking, etc. But I would suggest if you're not familiar with projects, at least this gives you a starting point for a total project in terms of web design and website creation. So feel free to use this document that's up on my website at any time. It is specific for website projects. And sometimes it's difficult to get the project management piece incorporated into how you would use it for website design, and that's what this document should assist you to do.